Hey everybody, welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home for a Monday shave. For those of you poor folks that had to go back to work today, I hope you're having a wonderful day. So let's talk about what we're shaving with today. First off, we are going to be doing a straight shave, and this razor is probably the biggest singer I have. This is an Ed Wusthof Trident in 6/8. Round point. It does have a little bit of a small chip in it that I honed to the point where it doesn't really affect anything. Just beautiful scales on this thing, though. Just beautiful. And we are going kind of matchy-matchy today. So, and this has been 30 on the convex balsa and then 60 on the convex Horween strop, bench strop. For our soap today, we are going to use just a wonder. We're going to the islands, man. West Indies Lime by Sterling, Rod, and Mandy over at Sterling. And they just happen to be artists and retailers over at theshavingcadre.com. So while you're at it, www.theshavingcadre.com. Come and visit us. We feel we're the best gentlemanly forum on the interwebs. Lots of good guys, lots of friendships, no controversial subjects, and so forth. So please come over and see us. And then also down here, you'll see a barber pole with a cowboy hat. Please click on that. That'll get you subscribed. And then down here, you'll see a bell. And we'd really appreciate your comments, good or bad, and your likes. We try to respond to all of them. And if you have anything you'd like me to try, anything you'd like me to explain, please do that in the comment section. And then also in the description section, please check out all the fine channels that we follow that support this channel and also support the Shaving Cadre. We've got shaving channels, a lot of good folks there. And then we also have some non-shaving of some interesting things you might like to see. So anyway, for our brush today, we're going with the Sorrentino Shaving Cadre Anniversary Brush in green, lime, of course. And for our aftershave, we will be using Sterling West Indies Lime, and then we're going to follow that with Royal Lime Cologne. So again, I hope everybody is doing wonderful today. Now we're going to talk about a couple of touchy subjects today, because I know that normally when we're shaving, we're talking about shaving stuff, but those of you that know me and those of you that follow me know that I own a barbershop in the Tucson, Pima County, Pinal County area. And it's located in a resort active adult community, although I do have clients of all ages, but it is a high-end retirement community that has a spa building, and my barbershop is located within that spa building. And, you know, some of these houses are $1 million plus. I mean, these are very affluent people, very active people for their ages. However, that being said, although I have clients of all ages from all parts of Tucson, in fact, I've got clients from Las Vegas, California, Phoenix that come in, and I appreciate that. But more importantly, it's an aging population, some of the people there. I mean, I've got people well into my 90s, and people from, you know, because the community is basically 50 and up, but there is some younger folks there because they do allow, as long as one person's over the age of 50, you can do that. So you've got some mostly retired folks, but you got a lot of semi-retired people. You got some people still working. But, you know, in the 5 years that I've owned the shop, you get to know these people. And for those of you that are old enough to remember the traditional barbershops, and I'm not talking about the crap you see now, you know, where, you know, you got a bunch of rap music playing, and you go in there and they, you know, they have you in the chair for 15 minutes and say, thank you very much, give me $40. Or the supercuts type of haircuts where it's $8 and you're in and out in 10 minutes and you never see anything but zap, 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 and you're done. No, I'm talking about the traditional barbershop that your dad went to. The traditional barbershop that your grandfather went through, where people came in, sat down, talked, and you got to know these folks. you got to know their families. You know, you got to know their kids. So you ended up being their barber for a legacy, you know. You do generations. And to some extent, that I have done here, but it's mostly the grandkids and you know, and their sons and daughters that may live in the Tucson area. However, you know, with the traditional barbershop, it is also a place of safety. And what I mean by that is subjects that the client brings up may be controversial. They may be not mainstream. Clients share things with you that they wouldn't even share with their own family. Why? Because the confidence of the barbershop is what the tenets of a good old-fashioned barbershop are. Now, also, it's where all the gossip ends up, because you see over a period of time, in a year, you see all your clients, you know, 2,000 clients. They've all got something to say. They've all got an opinion. They've all got, you know, and you see people from various walks of life. You see conservatives. You see liberals. You see homosexual, LGBTQ, you know, whatever. You see the whole gambit of folks. And as a barber, you respect all of them, because really when it comes down to it, aside from the customer service, what you're going for is the green. Green does not have an agenda. Green is not liberal. Green is not conservative. And the more you treat these people with respect, the more green you get. Now, that is not to say that, oh, Dave, what you're saying is all you're after is their money. No. I like the camaraderie. I like to be able to advise them, because a lot of people are coming from outside the Tucson area. I'm a native, so I can tell them where to go eat, where we go as locals, sights to see. So it's not just a barbershop. And then also we're counselors. A lot of folks are going through a hard time. We try to bring them a little bit of light into their day. And believe me, there are things that people have shared with me that I can never tell anybody because it's confidential. However, that being said, we've helped people get through difficulties in their marriage. We've helped people with the death of a spouse. We've helped people with the death of a child. And as long as my goal is two things. One, to give them a good haircut and or shave and or head shave, whatever they're doing. Two, make them laugh. In the 35 minutes that they're with me, make them smile and say, wow, forget all the other crap that's going on in the world. Forget all the hate. Forget all the pointing of fingers and forget all the my opinions and all this stuff. Forget all that and just laugh. Or talk about baseball or talk about football, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, you get as much as they say, try not to get too personally involved with your client, because they are exactly that. They are a client. You can't help in a barbershop but do that. And you know, I'm traveling this long road to get to one simple point. You lose clients. Now, sometimes you lose clients because they move to be closer to their children. You lose clients because, you know, you just weren't a good fit together, and that happens. You lose clients because they feel that that you are there to service them only, and their attitude is that who gives a crap? You know, I can get a haircut anywhere, and that's fine. But I have the power to say, you know what? You're fired. We don't fit. Go find yourself another barber. Go to Supercuts. Whatever. But the hardest thing for me is when I lose a client to death. And, you know, and I know, I mean, I've been around the block. I'm 58 years old. That you're going to lose people. When I was in the military, I lost people in combat. After you get out of the military, you lose people to disease. But it's hard when you get to know a person when they come in once or twice a month. And you get to know them. You get to know their family. And as I mentioned earlier, because of the location of my shop and the demographic, the majority of the demographic in there, it's going to happen. And I know that. And I resign myself to that. But it doesn't make it any easier. And this weekend, I lost 2 of my favorite clients. And I will say, I'm very, very fortunate. There's not too many of my clients that I don't love. I love all my clients. And but these 2 guys, they were the type that you saw a progression. And so, first of all, God rest in peace, Gus Apina and Cliff Hall. They both died on Sunday. I found out about Gus yesterday. And I found out about Cliff today. Gus was having issues. He, you know, just a neat guy. I would, you know, wash, shampoo his hair, give him a shave, do his haircut, and his wife would come in, and it was so cute because they were in their 80s, 70s and 80s. And she would say, "Who is that sexy man?" And, you know, it made me feel good because I could make him feel good. And he smiled. But I saw a progression. And he was diagnosed with aphasia. And then after the aphasia, he was diagnosed with arterial dementia, which is a very fast form of dementia, Alzheimer's. And the progression, he went from being, "Hey, how you doing, Dave? What's going on?" Walking around doing everything, to forgetting his golf cart, not knowing where he was, and then ultimately he forgot who I was. And those of you that know me well know that I went through that with my mom. But this was a very fast progression. We're talking within 1 month. And then due to his physical condition, which had deteriorated due to his mental condition, he was unable to get out of bed, and finally passed away in hospice. Now, I knew it was coming, because I've been through Alzheimer's, and I, you know, volunteer and stuff like that. So I knew it was coming. So I was prepared. I didn't think it was going to be this quick. But to have his wife call me and say, "Dave, you know, Gus has passed, but I want to pay you for all the appointments that he had made." And I said, "No." And she argued with me and said, "No, you're there to run a business." And I said, "I won't take your money." Gus was a good client, a good friend. So, you know, that one I was upset about, but I resigned to the fact that it was coming. However, the next one, and God rest in peace, Cliff Hall. He was a Harley rider, a motorcyclist, a complete crack up. He was in his late 70s, but the man was in incredible shape. He played pickleball every day. He played golf every day. He swam every day. He worked out every day. And he was a widow, I think, or divorced. but he loved the ladies, and he was just a joy. And he would come in, and he had another friend on the ranch that would come in and get haircuts, and he would know when he's going to get haircuts because he was good friends with his wife, and he'd show up and just start giving everybody a hard time. Or he would come on and give me crap. He'd say, you cut my hair too short. You know, everybody says it should be longer. And then I'd call the people while he was sitting in the chair, and they said, we never said that. He's full of crap. So, and it was just an ongoing thing. But he would also be the type that would just stop by to shoot the crap. You know, some clients will come by and say hello. When it's not their appointment time. But the vast majority are busy, so they, you know, you see them when they come in for their appointment, whether that be once a month, once every 6 weeks, or, you know, the shaving guys once a week, whatever. But Cliff would always make a point when he was walking to the, because my shop is located inside a spa. So, you know, the workout area, the yoga area, the restaurant, the bistro, everything's right there. And, but he'd always make a point to stop by and say hi, or give me crap, or, you know, root through the candy dish, which was one of his favorite things. But he also shared a lot of things with me, and he was alone here, but he shared a lot of things with me. And so to find out via a phone call, or a text rather, this morning from his good friend, who is also my client, was a shock. So I know that we didn't talk about shaving that much, but with over 500 videos, you guys have seen me shave. However, you know, I guess my point of this whole thing is, there's no room in this world for hate of any type. You can dislike something that somebody does, but in the end of the day, some of the people that you associate with are not going to be here forever. And if the last interaction that you had with that person before they die is negative, that's a regret you don't want. And believe me, I used to be in that situation where I would get upset that I would never talk to somebody again, and then to find out that they passed away, then you think about all those things that were never said because you disagreed with an opinion that they had. And I'm fortunate. These were my clients. They weren't best of buddies, but I considered them family, as I do everybody on this channel and everybody at the Shaving Cadre. So I guess the point and the moral of my story is that you don't want any regret. You don't want to have the last thing you said to somebody be negative. I'm fortunate that for Cliff and these guys, the last thing I remember, as a matter of fact, the last thing I remember with Cliff was when I cut his hair last week, because he was about to go in for ear surgery to get another cochlear implant. And he, we were laughing, and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "where can I go on a solo ride on a motorcycle where I don't have to be out for days and days and days and stuff like that?" So I said, "Well, first of all, don't go solo. Take Gary with you." So I called Gary, and he ran up to the shop in his golf cart, and we talked about a couple of motorcycle runs that that I told them that they could do. Have a nice breakfast and all that. And so that was and we were all laughing, and, you know, I was giving them crap because they owned Harleys, and they gave me crap because I owned an FJR, which is a sport bike, or a sport touring boat. And the fact that they saw my Harley tattoo and said, "You're a turncoat," you know, we just had fun and we laughed. And so I can look up and say, "Cliff, Godspeed to you. You know, I loved you, man." Same with Gus. We all had good So, like I said, the moral to my story is, even if you're just an acquaintance with somebody and you disagreed with their point of view, or you don't agree with their point of view, that's not who they are in their soul. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, we're all going to end up in God's kingdom. And why would you want to face that person after negative when you're in God's kingdom, where everything's supposed to be about love and forgiveness? So, and I know I'm preaching. I just felt that it was necessary with the fact that my clients passed away, and just how important life is and how important friendships are. And as I get older, I'm starting to realize that I'm on, you know, those of us at a certain age, we're on the downhill slide to eternity. And why not make it happy all the way around? So anyhow, so that was the shave. Shave was wonderful. Nice DSBBS shave. We used our alum, and there isn't a lime. I haven't found a lime witch hazel yet. So we're back to the Thayers again. Yeah, 2 days in a row. And that Wusthof, you know, it's funny. Fierce Izzard is known to have their singing blades. This actually is a full ultra hollow. It's almost, you can't really see it. It's almost a full bellied hollow, but it is thin. And so it sings. I mean, this is definitely a singing blade. Fun razor, fun razor to use. And it's just fun. So that's a nice thing to do. Okay, so we did the lemon. Now we're going to use the West Indies lime. Rod and Mandy, if you're listening, this is probably one of the best limes. It's just, it's perfect. And unfortunately, with lime scents, you know, you enjoy them for a little while, and then you may get a hint of them throughout the day. But in the beginning, it's just, you want to bathe in it. It's just wonderful. I just had an idea. Maybe for tomorrow's shave, or maybe next week, we'll do the lime with the cola, and we'll have a rum and coke. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? We'll experiment with that. A rum and cola with lime, or a Cuba Libre, as they call them. We're using Yardley Elegance for the top today. It is going to be in the mid-90s today, so the lime was perfect for that. I thought about using the Florist Elite for the EDP today. However, it's got a citrus base, but it dries down kind of woody. And so I figured what I'd do is, and we're running low on it, is use the lime, Royal Lime. This is a little bit deeper of a lime scent than the Sterling, but it is just a wonderful cologne that can be used in aftershave. But it's got more of a salty, briny lime, if that makes sense. And that does make sense with Royal, because they're out of Bermuda. And so it's really, really nice. Okay, folks, that's it. I thank you so much for listening to me blather on about the loss of my clients and kind of my opinion on how the world is and stuff like that. I know that you guys come here to watch a shave, or if you come here at all. But I do appreciate that. I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful, wonderful Monday, and we'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Barber Dave. This has been Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. Come see us at the Cadre. Take care. Have a wonderful day.